All right. Can you all hear me clearly? Let me know in the live chat, please. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. This is another audio live by me, Ari Dossett, or as you already know me, Rashid. So if you can hear me clearly, let me know in the live chat, please. Thank you very much. Okay, Mark, thanks for being here. Thanks for the thumbs up. For the rest that's here, let me know in the live chat you're here, please. Thank you very much. As always, I'll begin at 4 minutes. Logan, thanks for being here. Thanks for the thumbs up, whoever gave it. This is going to be an audio live, so I won't be showing anything, so you can just put your AirPods in or earphones or put your headphones on. Or if you're in a room, you're washing the dishes, doing the laundry, or you're with a group of people, you can just put it on the speakers. I won't be showing anything. It will be an audio live today. And I'm at the end of my fast for today. I haven't eaten anything today. I've been purely meditating, praying and fasting, and praying and decreeing and declaring. I've been reflecting also. So, if you're here, let me know in the live chat, please. Thank you very much. I'll be doing live board live soon again, but for now, audio lives are good. So within 2 minutes, I'll begin the class. You come in, let me know in the live chat, please. Tammy, thanks for being here. Meek, thank you for being here. Suzanne and Jordan, thanks for being here. Thanks for another thumbs up, whoever gave it. For those who just came in, I'm at the end of my fast for today. I've been praying, decreeing, declaring, reflecting today. Fasting is my lifestyle. Sometimes I fast only an half hour in the morning, or maybe an hour or two. Sometimes I fast almost the whole day. In this case, 10 hours. It depends on what I sense in the spirit world. Yes, fasting is my lifestyle since age 15. And I've turned 30 this year in August, so I've been doing this for over 15 years. And I guarantee you, fasting works if you do it properly. Fast simply means you put your focus on the Heavenly Father, and while doing that, you develop your spirit abilities. And it also gives you the opportunity to process things. Fasting is not a magical pill, okay? It takes dedication. Again, it's worth it. Thanks for the thumbs up. Okay, it's 4 minutes. Class has begun. I have one question for you, and I want you to answer this. Who wins in a fight? Just one simple question. I want all of you to answer it. All of you that's present. Who wins in a fight? Doesn't have to be a long answer. Who wins in a fight? Let me know in the live chat now. Okay, I got two interesting answers. I want the rest to answer too, because I want you all to be interactive with these live streams. Who wins in a fight? Tammy, Meet Meek, Logan, what do you think? And the rest is here. I'll wait for another additional minute to get more answers. After 1 minute, I'll continue with the class. Who wins in a fight? All right. I got a few more answers, which I'm happy about. Bonnie, the question was, who wins in a fight? By the way, within 20 seconds, I'll continue. All right. Now, I see two people who gave the right answer, Mark and Suzanne. Or maybe it's Jordan also that also said behind the scenes. The one who walks away. Now, before I started this live stream, I just checked YouTube to see if there were any actualities today. I found a short video of a former Navy SEALs from the United States military who gave an advice about winning a fight. And he said, the best way to win a fight is to walk away, it's not to fight. De-escalate immediately. And this is the former Navy SEALs officer. He was part of the military. So a lot of people might expect him to mention some strategy to knock someone out. No, but he said, that the escalation is the best, because this guy said as follows. Okay, and I'm going to use what he said, but I'm going to paraphrase it. He was talking about the physical fight over here. He said there are two scenarios. What if the other individual has a leverage hidden from you? What if the one who wants to fight you physically has a gun or a knife? Or maybe has some low-life friends who are nearby. In that case, you end up being beaten up, you end up being disabled, or you end up mutilated, or you end up simply dead. That's not a good result at all. You will have lifelong damage that you have to deal with. But what if the other individual has no physical leverage and you have the leverage, end up smacking them? In that case, you will end up being sued, even if you have to pay money in damages for the hospital bills for the individual, or if the individual falls down and die, you will go to prison. You have a criminal record. In both scenarios, you don't win. Nobody wins in a fight. The one that wins is the one who walks away from the fight. And martial artists, professional martial artists tell you the same thing. Even Bruce Lee, who by many is considered the god of martial arts. Well, he's not a god anyway, but many people consider Bruce Lee as this master teacher of martial arts has said, the best fight is no fight. The best fight is just walk away. Is we escalate. Because just think about these things. If even these worldly gurus were considered the elite in martial arts tell you that the best fight is no fight at all, they are actually contradicting the whole career. Because why would you teach people self-defense or martial arts if the best fight is no fight? The fact alone that the elite in martial arts are telling you that the best defense is just walk away, and still you have a whole profession about how to knock someone out and how to get yourself out of someone's grip, shows you that worldlings are obsessed with fighting. Maybe not fighting on a physical level, because that may be injurious physically, but they are obsessed with fighting, with proving a point. They're obsessed with winning against someone else. This is the pride in fallen mankind. You can even see this in marriages where one spouse argues with the other spouse. And the other spouse is being attacked. Hold on a minute. Why are you saying something like that? Or maybe it's at the workplace. The employer fires you because you said something he didn't like. He wants to prove himself. He's the man, that he doesn't take disrespect. Look, when it comes to physical combat, it's obvious that nobody wins. Now, as a believer, you will face persecution. As a believer, people will take offense at you and escalate against you. So as a believer, it will not be you looking for trouble. Trouble will locate you. So what do you do as a believer when trouble locates you? Now, there are many spiritual warfare ministries out there. Talk about casting out evil spirits. Talk about this kingdom of darkness, which doesn't exist, but they pretend like Satan has a kingdom. Talk about legal rights and demons have rights over us. Man, people are obsessed with fighting demons. There are a lot of people out there obsessed with fighting demons because they think fighting demons gives them some type of glory, some type of homage. Now, let me reveal something to you. And some of you who are playing this live stream later on will not like this, be upset with this. So let me tell you, there's nothing honorable about fighting and defeating demons. Nothing. When Christ called his 70 disciples, because Christ had 70 disciples who were all saved, including Judas Iscariot. But anyway, before the other disciples walked away and Jesus was left with 12, Jesus sent out the 70 disciples. He loaned power unto them to cast out evil spirits, to raise the dead, and to do other miracles. It was a temporary thing he did. When the 70 came back, they reported unto Jesus that even evil spirits listened to them and obeyed them. And the disciples, the 70, were quite excited that even demons were listening to them. And Christ said, don't rejoice that evil spirits are obedient towards you. Be rejoiced that your names are written in the heaven. So Christ told them, you're all saved. You're all secured forever, for all eternity. Rejoice in that. Don't be focused by the demons. So Christ never gave them a pat on the back for fighting and defeating demons. Christ never did that. That is something Christ was consistent about. Christ was consistent in not making demons relevant. Yet, what you see today in contemporary Christianity is that demons are on a pedestal. Demons are seen as arch enemies you need to fight to win. And in this doctrine, in which they exalt demons, they distract you from the human factors involved. Because listen, demons are just parasites. They are energetic parasites. Demons can't even act on their own. They can only react to what goes on in the human species. So demons are reactive parasites. That's all they are. So as reactive parasites, they're not even worth the fight. What do you do when a parasite wants to feed off of you? You shake them off of you. Or you get some cover that makes you immune towards them. Now, they will still come after you because they're parasites, but this is what you do. You're not going to actively combat a parasite. And here's the thing. Demons are immortal creatures, okay? They don't die. Like we have human bodies, we have physical bodies, and our bodies will expire. And once our bodies expire, we'll have to be resurrected in an immortal body when Christ comes back. All right? So let's think about this, okay? You are a human being, okay? Let's say you're a guy, okay? You're 20 years old. I'm just using an example now. You're 20 years old. You're about to start college or university. You're about to meet new people. You're about, in the future, you plan to start your own business. And you're not into violence or into street life, anything like that. You just want to remain safe and live life. And then you have a few thousand, you have a whole gang of evil spirits were also men floating around. These men were banned from the heavens thousands of years ago for collaborating with Satan against the Heavenly Father. Since being cast out of heaven, they've been deformed in their appearance as well as in their voice. They are filled with diseases and sicknesses. They're emotionally wild. They are mentally unstable, and they are reactive parasites that feed off of human trauma and human misery. Now, these men that we've banned from heaven, they're doomed forever because they refuse to admit they were wrong. They refuse to participate with justice. So they're doomed forever. The only thing that awaits them is the lake of fire. That's it. Permanent misery. Now, who here has something to lose? The 20-year-old human being, the 20-year-old human male, or those thousands of fallen angels floating throughout the earth for thousands of years, feeding off of human trauma? Who has something to lose here? And from both parties, who is the most dangerous to be involved with? Let me answer these two questions in a live chat, please. I'll wait. Okay. First, tell me who has something to lose, and tell me who's most dangerous to be involved with. Okay. I'll wait for an half a minute more to get more answers. All right. Now, indeed, all the astronauts less than 20-year-old has something to lose. Why? The 20-year-old has the opportunity to be saved and to live forevermore on the earth. The 20-year-old has a whole arsenal of benefits awaiting him from heaven that he can use on the earth. The 20-year-old has potential to be dominant and influential in his community. The 20-year-old, even if he goes through difficulties in life, he has something to look forward to. He has friends, relatives, or there may be people he can meet online that he can befriend. He has options. Those fallen entities have nothing. They're just in a state of permanent misery. So the only thing they want is to be relevant. And those demons want to be relevant at all costs. So, is it wise not to inform the 20-year-old about the existence of those gangs of demons around? Is it wise to keep this 20-year-old ignorant about what's going on? Let me know in the live chat. Yes, during this live stream, I ask a lot of questions, but that's what live streams are meant for, to be interactive. Is it wise to keep this 20-year-old ignorant about the gang of demons that's floating around? Let me know in the live chat. Is it wise to keep the 20-year-old men ignorant about the existence of those thousands of evil spirits floating around in the environment? Indeed. Just like Mark said, you don't know where he's from. If he's from a pagan household, then he already knows that there are evil forces around. Or if he's from a church background, he may even be aware. If he's from an atheist background, whatever, or agnostic, or from a secular background, he may lose it. So no, you won't openly say to him, listen, dude, there are thousands of evil spirits around wanting to suck the life out of you and drag you to hell. You're not going to say that to him because you may sound like a religious nut. But here's the thing. So here's the thing. You are going to hint to him that there's more between heaven and earth. And by the way, by age 20, you've seen already that many hints in the world that something's off with the world anyway. So somewhere he's already aware something's off. If you have the chance to inform him about what's going on, but you also inform him that in Christ he has victory. What happens in many churches is that they tell you evil spirits are around, but they tell you evil spirits have a right to exploit you. They have a right to victimize you and drain you, and that you have to fight against them to prove you're worthy to be freed from them. That's what they teach in many churches. So many are misinformed about it. And let me give you a scenario. Let's say this 20-year-old is misinformed about the spirit world, and he thinks that Satan has a right over him and the demons have a right to do things to him, like many churches say. He may spend his 20s avoiding risky situations. Now, there's nothing wrong with avoiding risky situations, but here's what you need to understand. In life, you need to face risks at times. You're not going to gamble with your safety, or just jump into any situation without a thought. No, you don't gamble, but you have to take risks in life. But because this man was indoctrinated to be afraid and to be careful about demons, he now ended up avoiding anyone that appeared like an open door for the evil spirits. And now he encountered many broken and fractured people. And he avoided those broken, fractured people because he thought, oh, this is a risk. Demons may work through them. And because of that, at age 30, the only thing he had was a degree with a full-time job and no friends, no social influence, no wealth, nor abundance. In this case, this man's fear or dread of evil spirits kept him back. And he missed out. And because he was kept back, he also missed out on financial and economic opportunities. So now the evil spirits are rejoicing because even though these evil spirits can never win because they're losers permanently, they now caused a loss in this man's life. The false teachers that were promoting evil spirits hindered this young man from overcoming in life. Let's say now this 20-year-old, instead of being misinformed by a pagan church, he encountered true believers informing him about the spiritual realm. Or let's say he figured out already by himself through trials and tribulations in his teenage years that evil spirits are nothing but reactive parasites. And now because he's well informed, he takes spirit action before he takes any step in his life. Before he starts university, before he applies for university, he sends peace ahead of him to the university. He sends peace ahead to his future classmates or fellow students, I mean. Then he applies, he's admitted to university. Before he goes to each class, he sends peace ahead of him. While over there, he looks around him to see who he can team up with for later in life. So now he has a proactive attitude as a man, always looking out for opportunities, and he ends up collaborating with people. And that's how he ends up building a big social network that caused him to be known in the world. And by him being known in the world and being ahead of things, he now enforces good outcomes on his own behalf, and he ends up at age 30 with financial leverage in life. Now, in this case, this 20-year-old, throughout his 20s later, overcame and bypassed spiritual battles. Now, I'm not saying that you'll always be able to bypass spiritual battles. All right? If you don't hear me well, check your sound settings of your YouTube, because my internet is working fine over here. Now, in the second scenario that I gave to you, In the second scenario, this young man, he knew about the existence of evil spirits, and he knew, hold on a minute, I have something to lose here. Evil spirits don't. That's why evil spirits are the most dangerous ones. But then evil spirits can only work through people who are of similar mind. So he realized, okay, I need to watch out for ignorant people who just act without investigating, but especially to watch out for people who have this depressive mindset. So he realized, okay, even though evil spirits will not appear directly to me, because evil spirits need to work through other people, I need to check which people are demons most likely to work through. And by being ahead of this, he ended up bypassing fights in life, because evil spirits will use human anger to start conflict against you. And once the conflict is started, it will play out on a human level. So now you need to deal with human conflict. Even though evil spirits are pushing it behind the scenes, because they are activated by the anger of fallen mankind, you still have to deal with what's going on the physical. So be smart. Know that evil spirits are around, and they are reactive parasites. And because they are reactive parasites, you know very well that they can only use whatever fallen mankind provides. So realize when you're dealing with people who are not born again, nor renewed in their mind, they may be a potential risk. But it doesn't mean you have to avoid all of them. You just check who is proper to be around and who is not. And because you know that those reactive parasites can only operate in patterns, then you know that the best thing they can do is trap you in a cycle. So you renew your mind to recognize cycles and to be flexible in life. So the best spiritual warfare advice ever is not end up in a spiritual fight. Now, sometimes you will face resistance that you have to pass through. In that case, you exhaust the resistance against you so much that the resistance ends up fainting under their own weight. When that happens, nobody can blame you. You just use whatever they put out against you against themselves. They're the ones that insisted in resisting you, so now you exhaust their resistance. And by doing this, you now can pass through. Sometimes there are sudden assaults. Then you send things back to the senders. Then you send confusion in enemy's camp. Or when you need to intervene in a situation, then you go on the offensive. You go on the offensive when you need to intervene, or when you realize that you will face resistance, so you act ahead of time. If you're about to achieve financial prosperity and you know that there are poverty spirits want to come against you, and you know there are a lot of poverty-minded people around you, then you remove yourself from those poverty-minded people ahead of time. That means evil spirits, sometimes that is asked towards you because the poverty-minded people are at a distance, and then you send peace ahead of you, you shut down violence ahead of you, so you take offensive, but the offense you take is just to move forward. Now, what many teach in those churches is that you need to go on a full fight facing the demons. No, demons are fed by anxiety, trauma, and misery. That's what feeds demons. Demons are reactive parasites. So if you go in a full confrontation against the demons, what happens? You end up making them relevant, and they end up feeding off the resistance you oppose towards them. And before you know it, you're trapped into resisting demons. And once you're trapped in resisting demons, dysfunction develops in you and around you. And this dysfunction will hinder you. So you cannot win wrestling with pigs. Fear is the main thing that feeds demons. The thing is, when you wrestle with pigs, you'll get dirty. Pigs roam around in the mud. Pigs carry infections and bacteria. Every time you wrestle with a pig, you end up infected or dirty. The same it is with spiritual warfare. Now, getting angry in itself is not feeding demons. But if you are stuck in being angry, now this will pollute your energy fields and will pollute your physical body, and this will feed the demons. Anger should only be a momentary emotion that triggers you to do something constructive about the situation. Apart from that, anger is destructive and it turns demonic. So, the reason many believers end up wrestling with evil spirits through life circumstances, because evil spirits never come directly towards you. Some try to do it, but those are strongman demons, but that's only when they're completely desperate. The reason why too many believers end up wrestling with the paranormal is because they were not well informed. Now, do I blame you? Can you be blamed for that? No, absolutely not. But you should admit that you were ill-informed and now you adapt to what's best for you. So if you just applied for a job, now, and suddenly you have one of your relatives who keep calling you and complaining, look at the timing. You just applied for a job. You just took a step in life. And now you have this relative keep calling you complaining. And every time they call you, feel exhausted already. This was going on. You took step in life. Somewhere their success is working out for you. And now the demons are reactive in opposing the success that's coming for you. So they want you to be exhausted so that when success appears, you don't know how to manage it. They want you to be exhausted so that when the prosperity arrives, you'll not be capable and competent to deal with the prosperity. You're so exhausted fighting off those difficult people. That's what demons do. Demons want to exhaust you by using difficult people against you. Demons want you to be exhausted by you fighting or resisting difficult people so that when the advantage arrives, you're too exhausted to properly deal with it. That is what demons seek to do, because remember, demons have nothing to lose. They want you to join their loss. That's it. So, here's what you need to learn. Just because you have power given to you by God Himself, just because you have the ultimate leverage on your side, does not mean it's worth it to prove your leverage. Okay? Just because you have the advantage doesn't mean you have to prove your advantage. If you have the advantage, you don't have to prove it to anyone, not even to yourself. Because either you have the advantage or you don't. If you have the advantage, you have it. You just use advantage. You don't have to prove to anyone you have any advantage. That's weird. If you have to prove you have the advantage, simply means that somewhere you're not confident enough in the advantage you have. If you have $200,000 on your bank account, are you going to show a bank transcript on the internet to prove that you have financial revenue? No. Keep it to yourself. And again, once you spend $1, the dollar is spent. So if you think I need to prove I have money by showing off, you'll be spending the money on projects that aren't worth it. And the more you spend the money, the less of money you have. So if you have financial revenue, you're not going to prove it to anyone. You don't have to. Stop proving yourself to evil spirits. It sounds retarded what I just said, prove himself to evil spirits, but that's what we are trained to do by many churches. You have nothing to prove to anyone, especially not to evil spirits. Many of the movies, cartoons we watch, and many of the church sermons we listen to, Many of the motivational speeches in the world, many of the things we were fed, including by school, are telling us to prove ourselves. Hey, I'm telling you, you don't have to prove yourself. Haven't you noticed that the Heavenly Father himself doesn't prove himself? Because there's enough proof of his glory already in creation. Now, sometimes the Heavenly Father will step in and manifest his power through believers just to convince people that he's worth it. So the Heavenly Father will convince people he's worth it. But after convincing the people he's worth it, he does not show any more proof of his power anymore. You know who has something to prove? Scam artists. Scam artists and con artists, or better said, frauds, have to prove something because they don't have what they claim they have. That's why they need to convince you they have the thing because they don't actually have the thing. A scam artist has to impress you to trick you into spending money on his non-existent product because he has nothing to show off. He has nothing to show. That's why he wants you to think he has something to show. That's why he wants you to invest in what he has to show without him showing it. It's only frauds that have to prove something. Why? Because frauds are frauds. They don't have what they claim they have. So they need to convince you that they have it. Now, there's nothing wrong with displaying your glory. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're wealthy and you love to wear nice jewelry, or you like to wear fancy clothes, or you like to go on holidays, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing with displaying glory. But if you display glory to prove something, you're out of line. Sometimes it's wiser not to reveal your glory. Because once you reveal your glory, people are going to treat you based on what they perceive of you. If you display your glory, people think, oh, I can benefit from this individual. So they'll become extra kind and extra well-mannered just to take advantage of you. But if you don't display your glory and people think that you're just a commoner, they will treat you the way they really are. But if they see you with all that display of glory, they may decide to hide who they really are just to take advantage of you. I'm not saying that displaying glory is anything wrong with it. There's not wrong at all. But sometimes it's good to withhold glory from the external world. So, the best spiritual fight is when you divert away from the fight and bypass it completely. Because this is what you need to understand. Just as in physical combat, there's nobody that will win in this physical fight. The same is with spiritual warfare. Here's the thing. Evil spirits know already they've lost. Evil spirits already knew they would lose when they revolt in the heavens. So they know they can't win. So why are they fighting something they know they can't win? Because evil spirits know they can't win, so they want to compensate this loss by withholding good from you. Evil spirits want to withhold good things from you. That's why they want you to fight them so that you are exhausted and can't benefit from life. And here's the thing. There are many human beings out there who just want to escalate to feel better. They're not even concerned with their own safety, their own well-being. They're just people who just want to escalate. They don't have anything else to lose, so they just want to lose it to feel better. They just want to explode. So yes, such people, when they are coming for you, when they want to get close to you just to look for an argument, just to fight. Why do they want to fight if they have nothing to gain out of the fight? They just want you to lose. You have an advantage, they don't. Instead of them repenting and looking for their own advantage, they want to take an advantage away from you. They don't want to achieve anything in life themselves, so they want to cheat. So they want to ruin your life as an achievement. They don't want to achieve anything in life, so they want to ruin your life as an achievement, which isn't an achievement at all, but that's how they perceive it. The same evil spirits are. The same evil spirits are. Yes, on this channel, I address evil spirits. I do, because I have to. It's practical. But you will never see me only talk about evil spirits 24/7 for hours long. You won't see me do that. Yes, evil spirits want believers to fight them so that believers don't have strength left to do the will of God on the earth. Evil spirits want to keep the human species in a state of impoverishment. And believers are the ones who are able to enforce abundance. So of course, believers are going to become the target because it's the believers who are able to enforce abundance. And once there's abundance in human communities, evil spirits have no grip anymore. Then they will experience how irrelevant they are. So for evil spirits to remain relevant, there must be impoverishment in the human species. So that's why anyone who's able to enforce abundance needs to be hindered. That is why evil spirits are primarily obsessed with believers. They're not obsessed with worldlings because worldlings already impoverished. That is why when you become born again, you will go through extra difficulty, especially in the beginning. Why? Because now you belong to the right side. And because you belong to the right side, you are able to overcome the impoverishment around you. And when you do that, evil spirits lose. And it's not only evil spirits, worldlings who don't want to face issues, it will make them look bad when you operate in abundance. So also worldlings have issues against you when you walk in abundance. So evil spirits know that worldlings will oppose you when you walk in abundance. So evil spirits will just wait till worldlings take offense, and then when worldlings take offense, evil spirits will use those same worldlings against you. Depravity is also a type of impoverishment. It's not the only impoverishment there is. That's why you as a believer face constant hindrances. Look, okay, let me give an example to you. Let's say you have two people. One is in prison, okay? He's in an extremely guarded prison on some island on the Pacific Ocean. Let's say the USA government built a big prison on a Pacific island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And you have a prisoner detained in that prison. Even if that prisoner would escape from that prison, he still has to swim over about 1,000 miles to the nearest shores. He has to swim 1,000 miles on the ocean. So would the USA authorities be concerned with that prisoner breaking out of prison? What do you think? He is detained in a well-guarded prison in the middle of the Pacific Ocean on an island. Do you seriously think the US military is going to be even considered with that individual potentially breaking out of prison? Just what do you think in the live chat? Let me know what you think. I'll wait. I got one answer. What about the rest of you? Would a criminal detained in a well-guarded prison on an island in the middle of the Pacific, would they even bother if this individual would ever break out of prison? Is there a reason to see him as a threat? No, because as already said, the prison is all the way on a Pacific island. Even if he would escape from the prison for some miraculous reason, he would die anyway out of the prison because it's in prison that are food supplies. Every week, the USA military sends food supplies to the prison. So outside of the prison, he has no food, and he can't swim 1,000 miles to South America or whatever. So, even if he would escape, he would die anyway. So they got a situation. But let's say now you have a fugitive in the United States on the run, and he has financial resources. Would they be upset with the second individual, a fugitive, who broke out of a police jail and he has money? Would they be concerned with the second individual? Yes. The one on mainland in the United States who escaped from police jail, he has money. So he's able not only to flee, but he's able to not recruit others also. So the one locked up in a Pacific prison, he's not a threat at all to anyone. If he even escapes, he will die. But the one that's on the run with money, they'll try to freeze his bank accounts, or they'll try to intimidate his relatives to hand it in. The one that's on the run with money, he's the one that will face difficulty. He's the one that will face retaliation. He's the one that will face hindrances. The one locked up in a Pacific prison, why would you hinder someone that's already locked up? Just feed them, keep them alive, just to prove how powerful you are, or let them starve and die. They're not a threat. But the one on the run with money, you need to make sure they lose their financial resources, or you need to make sure they're hindered as much as possible. And they're on the run. And because they're on the run, they are a proof you're not that powerful. So having a fugitive on the run is an embarrassment to the police force and to the government. So they will either try to cover this up, or they try to exterminate individuals as soon as possible. Well, the same it is with you, a believer. You are the one on the run from the perspective of evil spirits. You are the one that escaped the darkness, and you are now the one with Holy Spirit going through life. And you are the one who's able to shut down the chains of other people. So of course, evil spirits are going to lose their mind on you. So that is why when you become born again, it is as if people are crying and losing their minds. Now, some human beings will notice that you have a leverage and they get upset because they're not used to have others having a leverage. So they'll be upset. But sometimes it's the demons inside of them that are thinking, oh no, not another believer. Oh no, not another one. The demons are losing it. Sometimes it's the evil spirits that dwell inside them that are losing, thinking, no, 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 no. Now you know what's going on. What happens is that evil spirits will push people in your life to hinder you. So after you become born again, you will face a lot of people suddenly jumping on you. Yes, after you become born again, you will face a lot of people just jumping on you, want to be around you all the time. And then you're going to think, huh? Why are all those people so interested in me? You don't have, maybe you don't even have social media. You don't have any public reach. Nobody, beforehand, nobody even knew who you are. Imagine you have no social media, you're not even active online, you don't even go out to parties, anything like that, so almost nobody knows you. But out of the blue, when you walk in the streets, people see you and suddenly keep staring at you. Besides keep staring at you, no one get close to you. And you think, hey, I have no money. I don't even look that attractive according to worldly standards. Why are all those people so obsessed with wanting to know me? I'm telling you what's going on. The demons know who you are. The demons see your potential, and the demons are frightened by your potential. So the demons know that once you cross the Red Sea, you'll be more dangerous. Okay? So they don't want you to cross the Red Sea. They don't want you to be free from violence. So demons want you to be stuck with the violence of society. So demons will trigger people to develop interest in you. If you are a female believer, you may have a lot of women just want to cling on to you desperately, want to be friends with you. Those women are broken and they expect your femininity to heal them, which is it's just a bad way of thinking. A woman should look up to another woman to heal her femininity. That's not correct. But in the world, that's the mindset a lot of women have. That's why in the world, this thing called female sodomy tends to develop. So what will happen? If you're a female believer, you became born again, demons will push broken and fractured women onto you like crazy. Some of you sisters in Christ went through this already. If all those women suddenly messaging you, adding you on Facebook, or want to be around you, or maybe begin to imitate your dress, the way you dress, or the way you talk. Have any of you female believers experienced this? That the women around you begin to imitate you, or begin to talk like you, or walk like you, dress like you, always put themselves in a situation to encounter you. Have you experienced this, sisters in Christ? Let me know in the live chat. Now you know what's going on. But here's the thing. Once you see through this scam and you realize this is actually demonic violence working out towards you, you're not going to take it out on those human beings, because those human beings aren't even aware demons are pushing them on you. But those human beings are nevertheless risky for you. So you shake them off you in a polite way and you continue. And once you cross the Red Sea, now out of the blue, you have people becoming angry at you. Now, after you cross the Red Sea, you'll have a lot of men simping off you like crazy. I'm talking about what will happen to the ladies here, because this doesn't get much attention. Ladies in Christ, listen. Once you cross the Red Sea, you'll have a lot of weird, sociopathic, female-hating creeps coming after you. For some reason, they can't keep their eyes off you. They'll be all over your social media. When you go to work, when you come from work, they'll be staring at you all the time. And here's the thing. You don't even dress in a sexually provoking manner. There are hundreds of women around you dressing in sexually provoking ways. There may be hundreds of desperate whores around you crying for sexual attention, but they only see you. Ladies, this was going on. You crossed the Red Sea. So violence cannot come too close to you. But because you are a woman, and in God's design, the female requires psychic income from a man, demons know that the only way demons can violate you as a woman now that you cross the Red Sea is by having you involved with a defective man. By having you sexually involved with a defective man, demons can use the polluted sexuality of the man to violate you. So that's how demons try to take you out. So that's why once you cross the Red Sea, ladies, you will encounter a lot of men crying for your attention. And look at this. Days before you cross the Red Sea, they would see you and just look through you. They won't even care. You're going to have men who hate women desperate to be around you. And you think, if you hate women, why do you want to be desperate? Why do you desperately want to be around me, a woman? Well, now you know what's going on. But now, because you crossed the Red Sea, the violence can just come towards you. Those men cannot just jump and rape you or arouse you because you crossed the Red Sea. So the demons keep pushing those men on you, and the demons want you to think that those men need you to heal. Now listen to me, female believers. Demons want you to think that the reason you keep encountering those misogynist, angry men is that you have to heal them with your femininity. And I say, no, do not fall for this. Those men need to submit to the Heavenly Father, and they need to go into therapy and need to be delivered. No woman can heal a man, ever. It's impossible. But this is what they teach young women, that they should heal a broken man. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's not true. As a man, you should want to be better. You shouldn't rely on a female to motivate you to be better. Come on now. What other ridiculous crap is that? So, don't fall for this scam that you as a female are able to heal a grown man. You cannot. You can motivate a grown man, but you cannot heal him. He has to comply with the healing process. Come on now. There are women out there, most of them unbelievers, that think that they have the power to heal a grown man. And they end up being beaten, they end up being sex trafficked, and they end up being murdered. And sometimes a female believer ends up beaten, even trafficked, and some rare occasions even killed during the wilderness phase because they involve themselves in a cycle of ruin. The wilderness phase, ladies, is for you to renew your mind and operate in full femininity. That's not the time for you to think you can rescue broken men, because you cannot. The only man you can change is a little baby or a little boy, okay? If he's not a little baby or little boy, you can't change him for the better, ladies. As simple as that. Once a man enters his sexual development, motherly affection cannot benefit him anymore. Because he's not a child anymore. He's now growing into manhood. So now he needs to operate as a man to be better in life. Only little boys and babies can you shape better by motherly affection, not teenage men, not teenage boys, or not teenagers or grown men. It simply cannot work. Now, once you see through this, ladies, and you begin to walk in power all the time, now you graduate into sainthood. And once you graduate into sainthood, now the only thing demons have is from time to time to suggest some bad relationship to you. And the moment you cross the Jordan, ladies, you'll notice a lot of those creepy men suddenly run away from you. They are creeped out by you now. They won't even dare to look at you anymore. Maybe you have this ex-boyfriend who used to text you every day, call you every day, stalking you. You were in the wilderness, now you crossed the Jordan, you operate in power. And now suddenly he doesn't text you anymore. Suddenly he doesn't even want to, suddenly when you appear, he runs away. Now, I hope you ladies in Christ understand this. That demons, especially because you're a woman, demons hate you. Demons are disgusted by all females. They have deep-rooted contempt for all women. All females, no matter the age, whether you're a little baby girl or you're an elderly woman, demons hate all females, all colors, all shapes, all sizes, all languages, all ethnicities. Demons hate females, period. Why? Because demons are losers who blame females for their doom. That's what they are. That's one thing that keeps demons together, their hatred of females, which they imitated from Satan. Especially as a woman, demons wish to see the worst happening to you. So female believers, beware. Unlearn all the Hollywood nonsense that you've learned by the world. Also unlearn those teachings that you as a woman, you're like the Holy Virgin Mary, having secured the men around you. No, you don't. You can't. Now, as a female, you can have a healing effect on your community. That's true, but you're not a healer that you can heal people. Absolutely not. Christ is the healer. Now, let's talk about you guys over here. Brothers, I haven't forgotten about you. Brothers, the moment you become born again, you'll notice a lot of people coming angry at you out of the blue. People just freak out, become angry at you. It's the demons triggering this just to make you feel unwanted. Because when you feel unwanted as a man, that's traumatized you and demons get a hold on you. What will then happen is, because demons will not wait, demons will overwhelm you with lost demons. Lost demons are those fallen angels that will push defective, misandrous women on you. Demons won't even wait till you cross the Red Sea. They'll just do it immediately. Once you cross the Red Sea, this will intensify. Now you have other men out there wanting to attack you, stab you, shoot you. And once you go through the wilderness and you cross the Jordan, it suddenly becomes quite quiet. And now you only have suggestions to trick into bad relationships from time to time. So as you see here, the believer has something to lose, in the sense that the believer can be withheld something if the believer is tricked into negativity. Well, lad, watch my live stream about crossing the Jordan. They don't understand. I'm not going to repeat it over here. Watch that live stream. The live stream is called Crossing the Jordan. Watch that live stream. Or a small summary: cross the Red Sea is when you cast out the spirit of violence from you. It's when you deliver from violence, from physical violence. Now, do you understand now why it's totally irrelevant or totally unnecessary for you to be fighting evil spirits? Do you understand now why it's totally ridiculous for you to even consider demons as worthy opponents? Now, don't get things wrong. Demons are smart. They're intelligent. Despite being ridiculously out of their mind, they are intelligent in using other people against you. So update your knowledge on how to deal with spiritual stuff. Apart from that, you just shouldn't even consider them at all. It's mere us. Why are male demons acting like women to seduce men? Oh, first of all, demons are men. Now you have the Nephilim spirits. Some of them are female, but female Nephilim are seldom used in the demonic realm. Okay? Because even the female Nephilim are looked down upon. Okay? Fallen angels, I'm not talking about the Nephilim, fallen angels are all men. Okay? And those men, their manhood has collapsed because they are not fed by the joy of the Lord in the heavens anymore. Angelic beings are all men, and their manhood depends on being fed the joy of the Lord in the heavens. Once they don't have the joy of the Lord anymore, their manhood collapses. So they become emotionally and mentally desperate to cling onto human males. So demons, they are as reckless whores. Demons are reckless whores. That's what they are. The worst attention whore cannot be compared to how demons operate. So demons are not acting like women. They're acting like desperate whores. Okay? That's what they do. Yes, demons are like women because they're effeminate. Demons are effeminate men who are permanently miserable. That's what demons are. That's why they act like defective females. That's why those demons often use defective women, because the demons are like defective women. You get me? Not that they love women, because they hate all females, but a defective woman resembles the character and attitude of demons. Did I answer your question, Ismir? Let me know in the live chat. Welch like us, can demons take you out by watching pornography? If you're an unbeliever, they can. If you're a believer, they only take you out if you haven't crossed the Red Sea yet. And even then, they have to do it you have to really be deeply involved in pornography, which I don't even assume a believer can be. Now, don't get it twisted. Empathy and emotional intelligence are the strengths of a woman. But those strengths should be used according to God's plan. Ladies, your empathy and your emotional intelligence is meant to be used for God's glory. It's not meant to be drained by the world. Hey, and listen to what I'm saying here. Demons behave more feminine than women themselves. Because remember, their manhood has collapsed. They are men, but don't act like men. Demons act more feminine in a desperate way than females themselves. Now look, empathy is something both men and women have, not only females. Empathy is part of what makes you human. If you have issues with empathy, that means that you need to recover. That means you need healing somewhere. And then you need to learn how to use empathy in daily life. Because having empathy towards evil people will put you in trouble. All right? All human beings should have empathy. All human beings should be empathetic. However, empathy is a strength of females, but if females don't know how to use their empathy, they end up killed, as often happens in the world. Truth being told, demons want to substitute females with themselves. Demons want to substitute females with themselves. Demons only want men to use women to have babies. And for the rest, men go to other men or to evil spirits. That's what demons want. Demons want a sodomite world order. That's what demons are longing for. Demons want women to be as much as non-existent as possible. That's how much they hate females. ZZSE, I don't know the whole story about you and your husband, but unless he's going to therapy and wants to work to become a better man and a better husband, you should. I don't even recommend you being in that quote-unquote marriage, but going to therapy or going to prayer to figure out what the Holy Spirit wants in this situation. In this sense, even animals with no soul have empathy. Pairs talk to each other. So, I hope it's clear to you now that yes, we will face retaliation. We will, but we don't have to engage in the retaliation against us. We have to deal with the retaliation in a practical way to overcome it. And we learn how to be ahead of retaliation after a while. Animals just dissolve. They just dissolve and that's it. Animals are physical living decorations. That's it. And as physical living decorations, they have a purpose in nature and immune system of the earth, but that's it. Joanna, I'm glad you asked these questions. Joanna asks, can demons sometimes out of desperation send woke people to drain you? Well, I already explained that being woke is only beneficial if you are in agreement with Christ. If you're only aware of evil, but you don't have Christ to rely on, then evil will wound you. So a lot of the people that are woke are actually wounded, and because they're wounded without any help, being around these people can even drain you. So yes, demons will send woke people towards you. They did it towards me. Now here's the thing. Woke people, the reason they can be more exhausting is because they know the evil around them, but here's the thing, they're not focused on the solution. Common people deny the evil and they are more at ease. Now, do I agree with denying evil and being at ease by denial? No, absolutely not. By denying evil, you enable evils. I don't agree with that at all. But those that are woke in the world, they know of the evil, but instead of actually seeking deliverance from the evil, they want to fight the evil. And that's the trap of woke people. That's why woke people, not all of them, but many of them end up doing worse than the commoners who just enable evil. So, you don't need worldly defense mechanisms. You don't need self-defense, boundaries, self-respect, and all of that. What you need is an abundant mindset to learn how to deal with things in a practical way. That's what you need. And here's the thing. Here's the thing you need to understand. We are told as believers not to cause pearls for swine. So when people don't want to face the truth, they don't want to face that they are endangered, they are dangerous. We know to shake dust off our feet and move on. But woke people can't handle that people don't want solutions. Now, woke people, at least they realize something needs to be done about the situation. I agree with them on that. Absolutely. I agree with that. I agree with woke people forcing people to realize something needs to be done about this. Absolutely. But once you realize that people prefer to enable evil, that means those people are not worth it. And there's something woke people don't understand. Look, woke people, they tell you a lot of true stuff. You can learn from woke people, absolutely. Woke people are not by definition bad people, no. Woke people are just misled people. Okay? You can learn a lot from woke people. The trap is woke people are not Christ-centered. So woke people think they need to convince people to become better. And the Bible is telling us don't. Once they see reality, it's their obligation to accept the reality for what it is. If they refuse to accept reality, they become delusional. And delusional people can freak out and explode. So woke people end up putting themselves in danger often. Woke people often end up putting themselves in danger because they think they should convince people to become better. But here's the thing. When people know they need to become better, they have to do their part to become better. If they insist on denying reality, that means they are delusional. And you should never remain involved with delusional people. And that's the thing woke people don't understand. When someone is delusional, let them perish. So woke people end up triggering anger against them that they could have avoided. And listen to this. If those people won't even listen to their five senses, if their five senses, including the spirit radar in them, hints them that something's wrong, and if they don't even want to pay attention to their five physical senses and their inner radar, what makes you think they will listen to you? Now look, okay, I'm going to give an example to you. Let's say you are in a building and let's say there's a party in a building, a celebration, and suddenly you smell smoke. And you think, oh, maybe it's one of the stoves that are burning at the bar. You think, I don't mind. But then you keep smelling smoke all the time. But you see around you, everyone keeps on dancing and to the music and buying drinks. And you think to yourself, hold on a minute. How come I'm the only one sensing the smoke over here? If there's smoke, it means there's fire. That means something is wrong here. And you keep screaming throughout the party, guys, there's smoke. Something's wrong here. You keep screaming, guys, hold on, there's smoke. Come on. Why you guys keep dancing like this? Keep drinking, there's smoke over here. Eventually, the people turn on you, try to beat you up, and security guards have to kick you out of the building. Now, when the security guard kicks you out of the building, that's your deliverance. You're free from the danger. Here's the thing. They have noses too. They have a nose too. So why don't they respond to the fact that there's smoke over there? They can even see the smoke, they can sense smoke, but they want to keep on dancing. What the heck? So the moment you see the smoke and you smell the smoke, so there's proof that there's something burning, and you see people don't want to listen to the warning signals, and they can even see the smoke and smell the smoke. What do? What would you do when you're in somewhere and you can see and smell the smoke? Others can do, but others keep on drinking, dancing, whatever. What would you do in such a situation? Let me know in the live chat. What would you do? Okay. What would you do in such a situation? Yes, you should leave. Why? There is smoke. Okay? When you smell smoke, you're not only one smelling it, they smell it too. All people should stop dancing. Why is there smoke over there? Why smoke? What's going on? Everyone should begin to ask why there's smoke. Then you figure out what's going on. But everyone keeps on dancing, don't want to pay attention. Then you can even see the smoke. Even then, they want to be left alone. That means that they're keeping themselves in danger. The moment you notice that there's fire there, there's danger, and people don't want to listen, leave the situation, because if you stay there, you end up dying with them. And that's the thing with the woke individual. The woke individual keeps on fighting to convince people we need to get out because there's smoke, there's fire. Listen, if they are so delusional that they prefer to remain in danger than to face the fact that there's smoke and fire, what do you want to do? You can't drag it all out of the building to keep them safe. Get yourself out of there. It's only when the fire is burning people and the roof is collapsing and they think, oh my God, there's smoke, run, run, run. And when they begin to run, they will all run all over each other, killing one another, trying to get to the exit. So don't stay in the club or in the building till the roof is falling and people get to chaotically run over one another towards exit, because by then it's too late. By then you likely won't even make it to the exit anymore. While you can still go to the exit, go to the exit. Now, I've used this as a parable. Woke people, they are alert and they are aware. And they are realistic, something needs to be done about the situation. But they're not realistic enough to see that a lot of people around them are just enablers. So that's why woke people can be dangerous, because they're convinced that it's their mission to wake people up. And I'm telling you, no, people don't want to be woken up. People just want to be left alone, even though they are in danger. So you know what? Let those people perish. Simple as that. The believer knows, hold on a minute. This is way too obvious that there's danger. Why aren't people doing something about it? You know what? I need to get away from these people. Because once things get out of hand, they will turn on me. Now look at but here's the thing: the woke individual is still invested in society. Okay, that's why they're so desperate to wake people up, because they are codependent on society. That's the woke individual. The believer realizes, man, God called me to be in the world, but not of it. So okay, I don't. Okay, I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. So I'm not dependent on the world surviving. So if the world wants to go to hell, you know what? Let them go to hell. I'm out of here. So beware with woke people. I'm not saying that woke people are bad people, but they have a dangerous belief, namely that they are the ones leading society into deliverance. Listen, society is a narcissistic construct, so there is no deliverance possible in society. So woke people, they may even act like believers, but they're not. Yes, you have to model to them by showing the right thing. Get out of a bad situation. So, if you have any questions relating to this topic, you can ask them now. Hold on. I'm already answering questions, but if you have any other questions, you can ask them now. I'm here. And here's the thing: did Noah and his sons beg people, please come in the ark because it's going down? No. Because those people would have, listen, man, if Noah and his sons would have brought people with them on the ark, those people would have destroyed the ark during the flood and killed all of them. Oh, yes, someone asked the questions. Are woke people still comfort seeking by trying to cling to a delusion that they can save themselves? Absolutely. That's it. They're clinging to a delusion they can save themselves. All right? Now, what we need to do as saints, female saints, male saints, as saints together, that's what we need to do. We need to respond, not react. We need to respond immediately when you pick up warning signals with fasting, prayers, decrees, declarations, and with actions, so we can bypass unnecessary fights. There's one fight you will go through as a believer. That's a good fight of faith. The world retaliates against you and you overcome retaliation. That's the only fight you should have as a believer. Any other fight is useless and it will drain you. The only fight you should have is a fight to overcome retaliation of the world. And you overcome retaliation by bypassing it and overruling it. You don't, that's the only fight you should have. Any other fight is a blessing blocker that will hinder you. That's why we need to walk in real forgiveness. Forgiveness is simply your pro-life attitude. No matter what happens, good or bad, you continue living because life is worth it. That is forgiveness. Forgiveness has nothing to do with with some bad stuff someone else did to you. No, forgiveness has nothing to do with evil or something bad. It has to do with a pro-life attitude. Forgiveness preceded creation. Forgiveness is God's joyful attitude that He wants to continue no matter what. Forgiveness also practical. There's you can't continue with someone, you sever ties and you move further without the individual. So forgiveness isn't just an emotion. Forgiveness is a pro-life attitude that should remain constructive no matter what. All right? So learn to operate in biblical real forgiveness. Now the world has a counterfeit, also called forgiveness, but unlearn the world's counterfeit of forgiveness. True forgiveness is simply, no matter what happens, you already made up your mind you're going to live and make the best of life. That's what forgiveness is. But most people never thought correct about forgiveness. That's why when you mention forgiveness, they get bad feelings because they think forgiveness means allowing bad things to slide and to remain harmed. No, forgiveness is what will keep you sane. Having a pro-life attitude, no matter what, keeps you sane and healthy. You do admit the wrong done. You do admit the damage, how it affected you. But because you have a pro-life attitude, you go beyond that and you keep on living. All right. So I came to the end of this live stream because almost 1.5 hours. Are there any questions still for last minutes? ZZ SE. This is what will continue until Christ comes back. So learn to overcome it in a walk in power, and you will not be even bothered by it anymore. Well, okay. That's a minute for now. Keep on agreeing with Christ. Be at peace until the next live stream. Thanks for being here.